Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to order for the December meeting of the Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Commission. As usual, our first item on our agenda will be the prayer and pledge of allegiance, and Shane McFarland's going to take care of that for us.
Okay. If you'll bow your head with me. Father, we thank you for this opportunity to be here today. We thank you for the blessings that you've given us, the chance that we've all had to spend time with our family over the past Thanksgiving season, and the blessing that you're giving us with this upcoming Christmas. Father, thank you for what you're doing for us and what you'll continue to do for us. We ask you to bless us and be with us. Amen.
Amen.
Stand.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Shane. I believe everybody received their packets earlier in the week. Contained in the packets were the minutes from our November meeting. Give everybody a chance to review those, and we'll address any corrections that need to be made, and if there are none, a motion for acceptance.
I move that we accept.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Discussion. Motion carries. Thanks. I believe you have an introduction you'd like to make of a new program coordinator.
That's absolutely correct. Mr. Chairman, members of the Commission, it's proud to introduce the new program coordinator for marketing and special events, Ms. Becky Johnson. She will be replacing Ms. Jenny Brinkman, who has taken a job with the State of Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation. And I'd like to ask Becky to come to the podium and say a few things to the Commission.
Hello. I'm very, very excited to be taking over this position. It's bittersweet. I'm going to miss Jenny very much. But I've been working with Murfreesboro Parks and Rec for about 3.5 years. I started out as a program specialist with Angela Jackson on the Greenways, and then I went to Patterson Park Community Center where I was an assistant program coordinator. I've done lots and lots of programming with Murfreesboro for the last 3.5 years. Prior to that, I was a department head for Monroe County Parks and Recreation in Pennsylvania. I worked in the resort industry before then in recreation, and my heart is in community recreation. And I really look forward to staying with Murfreesboro Parks and Rec until I retire and promoting our programs and working on future projects with Lanny and some of our special events like our half marathon. I met with Melinda yesterday, so I'm really excited to do this. So thanks.
All right. We know you'll do a great job, Becky.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, before we leave that, I would like to extend our appreciation to Ms. Brinkman for her 6 years of service to our department. She has done a great job. She started as our aquatics coordinator and then moved into the program coordinator's job over the marketing and special events. And I think you can tell by the quality of the website that we have and the quality of the rec connection that we have that we're going to miss Jenny. But I know Becky's going to do a great job. She's been training with Jenny for about the last 2 weeks. But I'd just like to have Jenny stand up and be recognized and have a round of applause for her.
Best of luck, Jenny. We'll miss you. All right, we'll move to new business. The first item under new business is a presentation of a TRPA Volunteer Service Award to Mr. Dave Davis of Learn. And while Lanny and Mr. Davis and some other folks are going to come up, I'm going to read something here to talk a little bit about the award. This year, the TRPA Volunteer Service Award was given to Dave Davis for his work with special needs children in the community. Mr. Davis is co-founder, along with Tricia Lacey and Sony Craig, of LEARN, which stands for Life Enrichment and Recreation Network. This is a network whose mission is to provide a variety of opportunities for special needs children and their family. Some of the activities they provide are dances, camping trips, job skills trainings, arts and craft classes, and family fun days. Over 50 families participate in the network so far. The network has also held 2 basketball clinics at SportsCom. Mr. Davis brought in Coach Kermit Davis and the MTSU basketball team to provide instruction. Over 100 children participated in playing and learning how to have fun with the sport. Mr. Davis is not only interested in helping those within the network that he and Learn also work at being involved in and giving back to the community. They have relationships with organizations such as the Special Olympics, MTSU, and Parks and Recreation. They were recently invited to participate in filming a video on post-educational opportunities for students with special needs through a program with Vanderbilt University. Mr. Davis was also instrumental in building 2 bocce courts at Sportscom. Learn paid for all of the labor and cost of the construction of the courts. These courts are meant to be used and enjoyed not only by Learn participants, but anyone else in the community as well. Mr. Davis's hard work and dedication to special needs children in the community as a whole made him the perfect recipient for this award. We are proud that he is in our community and that we have the opportunity to work with him and assist him with his mission whenever we are able. Dave, thanks.
Thank you so much. We are honored to have this award presented to our group. Goes without saying that we wouldn't have accomplished this without the help of many supporters, beginning with our volunteers, the co-founders here, Tricia Lacey and Sonia Craig, and the many families that worked on this project. We want to thank Lowe's for contributing the materials. We want to thank First Baptist Church in Murfreesboro, whose support has just been outstanding to us. We wouldn't be where we are at without their support. And of course, we want to thank you all for giving us the opportunity to do this for the city of Murfreesboro. Thank you.
Hey, ladies, thank y'all. Appreciate all you do. Next item under new business is a reminder of the Sportscom holiday lock-in and the Polar Bear Plunge. Bart?
Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, it's just a reminder of 2 events we have coming up here in the month of December. In January, on December the 18th, we are having an all-night lock-in, and we're going to start at registering at 7 p.m. and go to 7 a.m. the next morning. You can call the Sportscom at 895-5040 and register, and you can come in that night and pay it's a $20 fee, and we will have activities, games. I know Thomas has already talked about bringing his Wii. Bring the Wii to the Sportscom and have a Wii tournament. So we're going to have swimming, pizza, movies. Hope the staff can stay up all night with the kids. I'm sure we will. We did last time. So, but anyway, it's a fun thing for all the kids, and they had a big time. We'll take a maximum of 50 kids. And like I said, you can call the Sportscom and pre-register 895-5040. Another big event coming up Saturday, January the 2nd, is our 6th or 7th annual Polar Bear Plunge. And I'd like to, Jenny Brinkman brought this over to us when she came over from Lebanon 6 years ago, and it's been a huge hit. And it's I know Chris is going to be the MC, and I'd like to have a special invitation to everyone here to come out and kick off the new year and jump and get right back out. So we'd like to see you out there, and you can, while we're asking, is bring a can of food, and that goes to the Murfreesboro City Schools Family Resource Center. So, just a reminder of those 2 things. And one other thing, we have the special 2-for-1 special that starts the 15th on a monthly or yearly pass at Sportscom or Patterson. You can purchase those starting on that date. A couple of other things. I'd just like to thank, I know we're talking about volunteers today, all the volunteers in the city. Of course, we're going to recognize the half marathon volunteers, but our ball league coaches, our little league coaches, our half marathon, our spring fling volunteers. We're fortunate in Murfreesboro to have that many people that come out and help. Our volunteer, I know Mr. Jernan coached in the football league. I mean, without these people, we couldn't exist. So I want to thank those people, and also I want to wish Jenny Brinkman well in her future endeavors. I know with her new baby and her new job, she'll do well. Thank you.
Thanks, Bart. Next item on the agenda is something that we look forward to every year, and that's Linda coming and doing the donations from the half marathon and announcing those to us. So glad to have you back.
Good afternoon. It's good to be here again. From the beginning, the Half Marathon's mission was to promote fitness. And another mission is to provide a venue for local organizations to fundraise. And not only, from the start, the middle half has not only benefited thousands of runners, but we've also helped out local organizations that assist with the mission. And at this time, I'd like to introduce some of the board members who are here with us today. And if you would stand, if you're here, Krista Dugosh, Miles Tate, Jim Janae, Richard Gable, Rick Caffey, Lanny Goodwin, Mona Herring, and Shane McFarland. And I just want to express my appreciation to them. They're the ones who have been with us from the start, setting the policy for the race and helping it to make it the best race we can. So thank you very much for that. And we are always very conservative when we set our budget for the year. And through careful spending and through our sponsorships, we're able to have a little surplus at the end of the event. And with that being said, I'd like to call Jim Janae, who is the president of our board, up. We'd like to make a few donations to some of the organizations that were crucial in making our events a success. Jim, here he is.
It's exciting to be a part of a race that involves that many people. And then when we sat down at our last board meeting and looked at how much money we get to give back to the community, it was very cool. So we'll start with some of our organizations. First, Oakland's Historic House and Museum. We'd like to make a donation of $500. And I'm not sure if we have people coming or not. Okay. The second organization was Special Kids. For their help in organizing the Middle Half Fun Run and the support that they've given the running community through Team Ask. It's just an awesome organization, and we'd like to give them a donation of $1,000. Also, we run right down Main Street, so it seemed very appropriate that we give Main Street Revitalization Program a gift as well for their support in the race and just the ongoing support. We did a pasta party this year, so next year, if you want to eat some good pasta, you come on out. We'd like to make a $1,000 donation there as well. You couldn't have a running in a community without an organization that promotes it, and the Murfreesboro Pacers do that. We're excited to be able to support them in the running community here with a $1,000 donation. MTSU track and cross-country teams are obviously something that we're very excited about and seeing them grow, so we would like to make a $2,000 donation to the MTSU track and cross-country.
And this specifically goes to some of their uniforms for the students. We appreciate that.
Thank you. We're very excited that they'll be running with something on, so that's good. The Murfreesboro Police Department went over and above everything that we could imagine, just protecting the runners and the volunteers that were a part of the race. And what we'd like to do is make a $2,000 donation to their department, and we're going to ask that it be forwarded to a specially fitted bike that will patrol the Greenway. And those bikes are very expensive, so we'd like to put $2,000 towards a new bike for the Murfreesboro Police Department.
And while he's making his way here, a lot of these officers, they're working on their day off, and I know it's an early day, and we couldn't do the race without you, and I just can't say it enough. Thank you so much.
We were going to make him ride the bike in and then back out, but we didn't have it fitted yet for him. So
there are 3 officers that are here. Sergeant Gerald, who just received the check, is at the command. We've actually controlled half the city on the race day for the last 3 years. But this year, Sergeant Roach, who is back in the back way, I think is taking over the race next year, and she was there this year. And then Captain Boehm, who is in the back. I want to say a special appreciation to those 3 officers for all their hard work.
Our Greenway system here in Murfreesboro is something that so many runners enjoy, and a section of it was damaged so badly by the tornado, we wanted to make a special donation to the Greenway, and so we're going to do a $2,500 donation to the Friends of the Greenway. We appreciate so much them giving us such a beautiful place to run and train. Also, we'd like to, again, going back to the Murfreesboro Police Department, there is a police benevolent fund that they use just to be a support to the officers and their families, and we would like to make a, it's called the 100, it's called the 100 Club, correct? We'd like to make a $2,500 donation to them as well. So.
Chief Kritzman could not be here today, but he called and he wanted to express his sincere appreciation to the Half Marathon Board for these donations. It just goes without saying that we hope the Benevolent Fund sits on the shelf and draws interest, but when it is needed, it's much well used. So anyway, he wanted to express those appreciations.
I know Melinda's already said it, that the police department just, it was amazing to watch. And we had runners come from states across the country, and they couldn't believe the support we had from the community. So it was exciting, and that's why we wanted to make that a very special offer. We'd like to make a $2,000 offer to the Hershey Track and Field Program. There's a program where kids will come and they won't have enough money, and so what we want to do is take $2,000 and put it towards running shoes and some of the equipment some of these students would need. And Fleet Feet has agreed to purchase these things at wholesale cost so that we can make basically running goodie bags for these students. And we're going to put a $2,000 donation towards that program. Also, what we've done is we made a donation of $3,000 worth of equipment that's been given each year to the Parks and Rec for cones and different things that they would need that can be used throughout the year by other events and organizations. And so we're excited to be able to continue that again this year with another $3,000 donation.
Last time I think I mentioned, but I'm going to mention it again, we also donated over $7,000 to different organizations that provided volunteers for us for that day. That included the Rotary Club, the Noon Exchange Club, Discovery Center, MTSU's Kappa Alpha Fraternity, Central Middle School Band Boosters, and the Murfreesboro Schools Family Resource Center. So we really appreciate the volunteers that they provided for us that day. So as you can see, it's a big community effort, and it not only benefits the runners and the people who are trying to get fit, but hopefully it also benefits a lot of the organizations in town. And if I may have a personal note to Jenny, she's already promised to come back next year to help volunteer. So thanks for that. And thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you for letting us be a part of this.
That's good stuff, and it's nice it's a lot of fun to watch that event grow, and it's always a pleasure to watch something give back. And it's really neat. We're going to move now to our next item on new business, which is a consideration of Patterson Park Community Center proposal for a talent show.
Mr. Nell Floyd, who is our operations coordinator at Patterson, will be presenting that. Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Lanny. Hello, Board. Once again, my name is Janelle Floyd, and I'm one of the operations coordinators at Patterson Park Community Center. And along with my operational role there at Patterson, I've also taken on a role as assisting our after-school program. Our after-school program is looking to sponsor a canned food drive on Friday, December the 18th, and we're looking to do this in a creative way. We're going to do a talent showcase, and we would like to ask permission to collect canned food items as an admission to the show. Once we collect all the food items from the show, the kids will play a part in giving back to the community. The kids will create baskets that will be donated and delivered to needy families within the Patterson community. McCumberland has asked if they could be a part of this creative initiative. McCumberland will supply us with a list of needy families in the community, and Pastor James McCarroll and the First Baptist Church will also collect canned food items there and throughout the community. So we're just requesting to have permission to have canned food items donated as an admission to the show. I also brought along Ms. Brooke Moulton, who is a part of our after-school program as well. She is the creative genius behind this whole project. And we feel that it's a great opportunity for our youth to learn the importance of giving back. And also, we're going to give them a platform to showcase their talent.
All right. Any questions for Janelle or Brooke? Any questions? Any motion?
Move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's going to be a great event. Next item under new business is a consideration of water fountain donation to the Bark Park by Barkaroo sponsors and Friends of the Greenway. Angela?
Good afternoon. For the past 3 years, we have had a very successful partnership with Dowdy & Company, which is a local family-owned publishing company, and they have helped us and been a very key part in creating Barkaroo. And Barkaroo is a festival that we have done. It's a festival for dogs and their owners. We've done it every November for the past 3 years and just had a huge turnout, a lot of community support for that event. We bring in a lot of dog-related businesses and rescue organizations and do contests, including the Honor of the Crown of Mr. and Miss Barkaroo. It's a really fun event. Well, one of the things that Dowdy & Company chose to do this year at the festival is they presented us with a check for $2,000 to be used for the Murfreesboro Bark Park. And that's something, of course, we're really excited about. The Bark Park is another example of how much people in Murfreesboro love their dogs. It's also been very successful. It is a fenced-in area where people can come and play with their dogs off-leash. We have water access there now. It's just an old farm faucet is basically what we have, and it kind of creates a problem of a mud hole there in the area. There's not a human attachment to it, so there's no people access to water, and there's also not a freeze component, so we have to close it down in the winter. So what we'd like to do is put in a water fountain in that space. It'll have freeze-resistant attachment. It'll have a human water access and then a dog water access at that point, and should really help make that park a better place. The Friends of the Greenway is another organization that has really been very proactive in helping us create a better place and create just improve the Greenway, I suppose. And the board of directors has decided that because of the Bark Park's connection to the Greenway, both physical connection and also in how it's used, that's something that they would like to support. So they've offered to pay for half the fountain. The fountain is $3,790. So basically, what I'm asking for is permission to accept the donation of the fountain from both Dowdy & Company and the Friends of the Greenway. Murfreesboro Parks and Recreation Department would be responsible for its installation and upkeep from that point.
Okay. Any questions of Angela regarding this donation? If there are none, we need a motion for acceptance. So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Just to say thank you to Friends of the Greenway and the Dowdy Company.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6 is a consideration of a Parks and Recreation Department facility holiday and hours calendar for 2010.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, in your packet, you have a 2010 facility holiday and hours calendar. And what we try to do is get this to the commission. There's not much change to this from last year. just want to point out a couple of things. There are 10 paid holidays for the city. Most of those holidays are recognized, but on Thanksgiving and if Christmas falls on a certain day, it depends on which day it falls. We open the facility the following day at the regular hours, and on the eves we close at 5 o'clock. So generally speaking, when full-time folks are off on Christmas Eve, because that is a recognized city holiday, then we do have some people are working. We work a kind of a skeleton schedule, and we fill in more with part-time at that particular point. But we do try to keep our facilities open as much as we possibly can for our patrons. So I just wanted to present this schedule to you for your consideration, ask if you had any questions on it, and if not, recommend its approval.
Anybody have any questions for Lanny regarding the schedule? If there are no questions, we need a motion for acceptance of the schedule as presented.
I so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is approved.
Thank you.
The last item is an update on Christmas at Cannonsburg Village.
Good afternoon. I just want to remind everyone there's a couple of activities going on at Cannonsburg in December. Marlene asked me to mention that this Saturday night, December the 5th at 6 o'clock, the Frozen Toesins movie, which will be the Nutcracker, will be out front of the Visitor Center on our front lawn. There's no cost for that. If you have any questions, you can call us at Cannonsburg. Also on December the 12th, we have Christmas at Cannonsburg. This year, we're trying to change up things just a little bit. In our chapel, we have the St. Mark's Handbell choir coming. In the Lehman House, we have Lori Kissinger. She's going to be coming telling stories and then doing some different instruments, demonstrations with the children and adults. In the town hall, we have Pictures with Santa. The L&T Photography will come and do that for us. In the gazebo, we have the Baker Performance Academy come and do a little dance class there. The schoolhouse, we have storytelling by Jerry Bailey, and I don't know if you've heard him. He works at the library, but he's absolutely wonderful. So he's agreed to come and tell some stories this year for us. The Murfreesboro Art League will have an art exhibit that day. The Antique Auto Car Association will have an antique car exhibit that day. We'll have hay rides. We'll have hot apple cider. The blacksmiths are going to do a demonstration. And then Mr. Dean Fritz is coming with some sheep, and he's going to be a shepherd and have some sheep there that day. But it's December the 12th, 2 to 4. The admission to the Christmas at Cannonsburg is free. If you have any questions, you can call us at Cannonsburg at 890-0355. Thank you.
Great. Any questions? Thanks for the update.
Thank you.
Is there any other business to come before the commission?
No, sir. Have nothing else.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Merry Christmas.
We stand adjourned, and I hope everybody has a wonderful, blessed holiday. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.